critically with psychological science, the question we must constantly ask ourselves is how can we best use psychology to understand why people think, feel, and act as they do. We use psychology to better understand how people around us think, but as with any observational science, there are many problems that can occur, and safeguards must be made against these to keep from interfering with our work. A common problem with psychological science is hindsight bias. This is the tendency to believe, after learning an outcome, that one would have foreseen it coming if they had been in the situation given. This is part of the scientific attitude described by James Randi, which says that all scientists must have a curiosity to explore and understand without being misled. The curiosity from the scientific attitude has led us to the scientific method. A scientist first forms a theory to explain how they feel. Next, they form a hypothesis to have something to test their theory with. They then form operational definition to define what it is they're experimenting and the concept of it so that the experiment may be more easily replicated in the future. Experimentation allows us to both A. manipulate factors of interest and B. hold constant factors to measure against. Over time, we have developed many different procedures for experimentation, and one of these is the double-blind procedure. This is an experiment in which neither the experimenter nor the experimented know what is being researched. It's effective because it's the best way to eliminate bias. The double-blind procedure uses an experimental condition where the people receive the treatment and a control condition who doesn't receive the treatment to test a hypothesis. This can, and usually does, create the placebo effect, which is where an experimental research occurs from expectation alone. An example of this would be what happens to them is what they think will happen. Experiments usually contain two variables, the independent variable, which is what's tested, and the dependent variable, which changes as a result of the manipulated independent variable. After gathering data, we need to organize it, and for this we use graphs. In a graph, there are the measures of central tendency, which are the mean, median, and mode. Using these, we can better describe our findings to observers, and thus spread our experiments and studies so that others may better understand and use psychology as we know it.